Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our last day, the fourth day of the Women in Engineering Days. My name is Lieke, and this is Mariam, and we are your hosts of today.
We organized this event because we have talented female engineers working for ING. We're really proud of them and who would love to share their story with you, with our tech community. And today we have two talks for you. The first one starting in a bit. This is about banking in the coronavirus era. And the second one will start at 12:30. That will be a non-technical topic and about the challenge of maintaining your work-life harmony. So stay tuned, very interesting.
Yes. And then some practical information. Both of the talks will take 45 minutes, including a Q&A at the end of the talk. So if you have any questions, please ask them in the comment box on the right side of your screen. And our speakers will answer them after the talk. And be aware that there's a 20-second delay between the live streaming and YouTube. And we have a small break in between the two talks. So the second talk will start at 12:30.
Yes, and now we would like to hand over the screen to Nandini. She is very much into houseplants, as I heard, like me, as you can see in the back. And her dream is to have an organic farm one day. Nandini, I would really love to join you, if it's so far. Just keep me posted. Okay, the floor is yours.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Nandini Chauhan. I'm technical lead and one of the founders for Fin Banking of Things, a startup initiative at ING. I think the buzzword is fintech, but we like to call ourselves as TechFin because we think of ourselves as a tech company that facilitates financial services. I started out at ING over 7 years ago as an iOS developer at mobile banking. Later became the chapter lead there. For those of you who do not know what chapter lead is, it is a combination of IT lead, manager, while still doing active development within the team. 3 years ago, with a small team, we pitched Fin, the idea of Fin, to Innovation Bootcamp. Innovation Bootcamp is this global bootcamp that ING organizes every year, in which various teams from all across the world pitch innovative ideas. We did the same. After going through many stages across multiple months, eventually we won. And that's how Fin came into existence. Today, I'll be talking about our Fin platform, give you guys a little insight into that, and we'll also explain how Fin as a platform can help in this post-corona world. Side note, I wouldn't be answering any questions until the end of the presentation. So let's get started. Let's start with the basic. What is considered as an IoT device? IoT devices are non-standard computing devices that connect wirelessly to network and have the ability to transmit data. IoT involves extending internet connectivity beyond standard devices such as desktops, laptops, smartphones, and tablets to any range of traditionally dumb physical devices and everyday objects. Embedded with technology, these devices can communicate and interact over the internet. They can also be remotely monitored and controlled. Surprisingly, IoT is not a new technology. IoT devices have been around for quite a while. It has its roots in telemetry systems from 19th century, which were these big, bulky computational devices that could capture simple data points and send them back for analysis. In 1990, John Romke created this toaster that could be turned on and off over the internet. This toaster is considered to be the first IoT device. It was connected to the internet via TCP/IP protocol. ATMs are essentially IoT devices. Definitely in the past decade, though, they have become smaller, cheaper, and more robust. And probably that's the reason we see them everywhere nowadays. IoT devices we interact within our day-to-day lives are increasing exponentially every year. And they're not limited to one sector. They are spread across all industries, from healthcare to education to agriculture to even your very own home. The world of Jetsons is not a far-fetched future anymore. In the past few years, we have moved significantly closer to that reality. Although we probably won't be seeing flying cars anytime soon, IoT has definitely become an integral part of our day-to-day lives. Some of you may ask, but I've been hearing about this IoT for quite a while now. Why hasn't it disrupted my everyday life yet? Well, to answer that question, we need to understand Amara's law. Amara's law states that we tend to overestimate the impact of a new technology in the short run, but we underestimate it in the longer run. I'm of the opinion that the first hype wave of IoT has just subsided, and right now we are in the period before the second wave, where we would actually see the real impact of the technology. And that's why we as ING invested in building our very own IoT payments platform, Fin Banking of Things. As ING, we want to be pioneer in all the sectors. The world around us is constantly changing. The world we live in today will not be the world in 5 years. We need to start today to prepare for that future. But why is IoT so interesting for us as a bank? Well, the assumption is by 2025, there would be 22 billion IoT devices in the wild. Even if this number is off by a couple of millions, it's still a ridiculously large number. Multiplied by the number of transactions each of these devices would be making, I think IoT is going to become a very interesting sector for everyone. That brings us to Fin. What is Fin? Fin Banking of Things enables any connected device to perform autonomous transactions in a secure manner. The keyword is autonomous. Generally, there is a difference between automatic and autonomous, and the difference is the degree of human intervention. When we say autonomous, we mean these devices are smart enough to decide when to make the payment on your behalf. No more hassle of keeping a track of what needs to be ordered when. No more waking up on a Saturday morning to realize you're about to run out of coffee. Your smart coffee machine will decide when you're about to run out of coffee and will order those Nespresso cups for you. We enable these devices to make your life easy. It's a beyond banking Horizon 3 vision in which we create new businesses with our product. It's a long-term vision. The real impact would be seen in the coming 5 to 10 years. Beyond banking has much to do with ING's purpose: empower people to stay a step ahead in life and business, for which making good financial decisions are crucial. This purpose cannot be achieved by solely focusing on ING's products and services. We need to broaden the scope, and we need to think about the idea of a platform where products and services can be offered that have a beneficial impact on financial decision making of individuals. Financial health goes way beyond pure financial products. It's about your day-to-day spending. Where is it that I'm spending my money on? As FinTech magazine recently mentioned, the next few years we will see devices become platforms for purchasing goods and services. From the comfort of their home to the confines of the car, people want to make purchases where they want, when they want. This house is not from any science fiction movie. This is very similar to the house that I live in, and I'm pretty sure it is very similar to the house that many of you live in as well. Everything in our day-to-day lives is entangled with IoT devices, from your smart coffee machine to your smart refrigerator to your smart car to your home automation. Everything is smart. Consumers are really trying to get on top of their financial health and decision making, but are constantly overwhelmed by the sheer number of possibilities and products. At the same time, they lack the complete insight and control. That's where we come into the picture. With our platform, we provide this financial overview of all connected devices to the consumers, while also providing control and insight, in parallel to providing a complete seamless user experience with autonomous payments. And for companies, we facilitate a new business model. Consumers in general are moving away from ownership to pay-per-use. With IoT, these businesses can service this new business model and extend their relationship with their customers from point of sales to aftermarket support and services, while also providing 24/7 services with less manpower. I think sometimes the words cannot completely comprehend or explain what the platform actually is. So to make sure that everyone completely understands what we've built, we have also created a very nice video. And the only thing is I would need to switch to a different screen to be able to show you guys the video. So you might have to give me a couple of seconds. I'll just play through my computer so you all can hear it properly.
The Internet of Things creates one big connected network of physical objects. By adding sensors to everyday things and connecting these to the Internet, we create smart devices that can communicate and act by themselves. By programming these devices, we now enable interactions between things and people. Whether it is a parking meter telling you for how long you've parked, or your coffee machine notifying you it needs new coffee beans. Adding payments to these interactions can be challenging. This is where Finn and our banking background comes in. We enable your car to pay for its own parking, your coffee machine to buy new beans. We even enable your fridge to order fresh milk on their own, safely and securely. Automating recurring payments for a better customer experience is one of the opportunities IoT is opening up. Shifting to new business models such as product as a service is another. From selling one product at a time to building a network of smart devices that generate continuous revenue through pay-per-use. Start innovating today by using our IoT payment platform. Use our software toolkit to add secure triggers to any smart device, and the Fin portal to manage your suppliers, trigger-based events, and micropayments. Secure IoT payments made easy. Interested in the possibilities Fin can create for your business? Get in touch for a demo.
I hope the audio was audible and at least bearable, and it gave you a good understanding of what the platform actually is. Now, let's come to the interesting bit about how we built our platform. I always like to say with a whole lot of technology and a little bit of magic. And the magic lies in the team we've built over the years. If I could name one thing to get right from the beginning, that would be to build the right team with the right mindset. It's always a challenge to find the right people, more so when you're looking for skilled professionals in niche technologies who believe in the vision as much as you do and are as passionate about it. It was a lot of hard work, but in the end, completely worth it. To be able to create business value with an IoT device, there are 3 steps involved. Let's go through these steps with the example of the coffee machine ordering Nespresso cups on your behalf. The first one is sense, which is to capture data from all the sensors. So in case of the coffee machine, your coffee machine collects data every single time a cup of coffee is being made. Second one is infer. You have the captured data, you process that data and gain new insights. Your coffee machine keeps a track of the number of coffee cups being made. And the final one is to act. Based on the insights you have gained, you act. When the count reaches a certain threshold, say for every 100 cup of coffee being made, your coffee machine triggers an order for new Nespresso cups and also pays for them. What we provide are building blocks. These are literally Lego pieces that can be mixed and matched together to create whatever you can think of. Our platform consists of our portal, our IoT SDKs, our native iOS and Android companion apps, and our mobile SDKs extracted from these companion apps. Each of these components are meant for makers, suppliers, and end users respectively. Who these are, we'll get into that soon. Since we want to target as much of the IoT hardware out there as possible, we have created our IoT SDKs in multiple languages. Now, let's take example of these 3 IoT devices, a smart car, a smart refrigerator, and a smart lamp. You can install our IoT SDK on the smart car and make it enable to make autonomous payments. You can do the same thing with the smart fridge and the same thing with the smart lamp. Now, all of these three IoT devices can make autonomous payments on your behalf. Our IoT SDKs are connectivity agnostics. So we utilize all the connectivity out there possible. This is our overall architecture where we have all different aspects and components of our platform, from our web-facing assets to our IoT SDKs to our mobile apps to the mobile SDKs. And all of these components are catered by our core backend. There's also another part of our technical architecture, which is our Fin payment processor, where we manage the payment from the trigger of the IoT devices. In this payment processor, we have a concept of a queue. For example, if you take your smart fridge ordering and paying for milk on your behalf, this is a very low value payment, which is called a micro transaction. The transaction cost for such a small payment is way too high, and it doesn't make much sense to settle this transaction standalone. So what we do is we collect all the transactions of a customer in a queue. And when it reaches a threshold based on the risk profile, frequency, value, multiple other factors, then we do the invoice from the customer. In the meanwhile, the customer can continue to order and enjoy services in real time. Once we do the actual invoice and collect the amount from the customer, it needs to be sliced up and sent up to multiple parties. Again, let's take the example of your smart fridge ordering milk on your behalf. In this case, there are three parties at least. There's Albertine, for example, there's the milk vendor itself, and there's also a share for Finn in it. We do this slicing of payment between multiple parties and also settlement of this payment. This is all pre-configured and automated. We take away the complete hassle from the payment. We believe in transparency, and that is why a major chunk of our platform is open sourced. Anyone interested in our software can check it out on GitHub, clone or fork the repository, and try it out right away. We believe that alone we can make something good, but together we can make something great. Alongside our platform, we have a very strong community of developers that use our platform for their next big ideas. Our community is really important for us. They help us improve our product by giving us constant feedback on our beta versions. And they also help us keep focused by making sure that we're building the right solution for them. The backbone of our community is our Slack channel. This is where we help out the community developers with their questions, keep them up to date on our latest changes and features. You can also join our Slack channel and be part of this ongoing conversation about IoT. Just scan the QR code and you're ready to go. Now that you know what we've built, the next point of importance is who we've built it for. Our product has multiple facets, therefore we target multiple groups. 3 to be precise. The first one is what we call a maker. A maker is an individual or a company who will use our product to monetize their IoT proposition. Let's take the example of the coffee machine again, ordering those Nespresso cups on your behalf. In this scenario, the coffee machine manufacturer would be the maker, who wants to provide seamless services to its end users. A maker starts out in our maker portal by creating an action that leads to a payment. An action defines what needs to happen under what circumstances for a payment to be made. Very similar to if, this, and that flow that some of you might be aware of. So for example, for every 100th cup of coffee being made, the coffee machine orders new Nespresso cups. It literally takes a couple of minutes to define the action in the portal. The next target group is a supplier. Supplier, as the word describes, supplies either a product or a service. In the example where coffee machine orders and pays for new Nespresso cups, the company supplying the cups would be the supplier. It can very well happen that maker itself is the supplier. As a supplier, you start out in our supplier portal where you make your product or service available so that the makers can use it. And last but not least is the end user. We all can create great products, but if there's no one to use them, then it's a complete waste. An end user is the person who owns the IoT device, in this case, the coffee machine, and authorizes it to pay on his or her behalf. For the end user, we have our native iOS and Android apps, which they can download. Using this app, the end user authorizes IoT devices to pay on their behalf. This is also where they get the complete financial overview of their devices and a complete control of what's happening. It is not hard to imagine that if the maker is a company like Nespresso, they wouldn't want their end users to download yet another application. Instead, they would prefer to have the Fin functionality within their own app. That's why we have our mobile SDKs for both iOS and Android. These mobile SDKs can be integrated in an existing app or while creating a new app. And just by adding these mobile SDKs, now your applications are Fin enabled and ready to be used. Okay, let's talk about a topic for which 2020 will be etched in the history forever, COVID-19. And let's also talk about what part Fin will play in this post-COVID world. We are all very much aware that the pandemic is far from being over, but one thing is clear, we're not going back to the way things were. We need to find a new normal. The fear of contact with contaminated surfaces has given a real boost to the use of contactless payments. Managing the immediate threat to people's health and well-being is currently the highest priority. The payment solution that will allow economies to emerge from the current crisis efficiently will define the COVID-19 future. Post-COVID-19 world will see a new trend of payments. Consumers more and more are moving towards contactless payments. Hands-free payments are a step ahead of contactless payments. They are more seamless and more secure. Connected devices will be at the epicenter of this transition. And Fin platform will facilitate it to make sure people can continue with their daily occupation while keeping themselves safe. Fin provides a completely autonomous payments experience, removing interaction with any external surface or even a human in the loop. With the help of Fin, any business can easily switch to complete hands-free payments, letting these devices do the dirty work for you. Okay, let's look at some of the examples of how Fin can help us in doing this. Fin would allow for an easy transformation from traditional stores to drive-thrus. Upon arrival at a drive-thru, license plate recognition camera will recognize your car. Your car will autonomously pay for a pre-selected menu, and minutes later, your Happy Meal is ready. No need to touch any surfaces or even take out your debit card. These fully autonomous drive-thrus will give a platform to your local liquor stores, your local flower shops, your grocery stores, etc., and will help them to sustain their businesses during and after pandemic, and would also help them to quickly adapt to the new customer behavior. The same way we can have a complete autonomous and low-touch collect and go for various retails. Imagine ordering something at IKEA. You get notified when your order is ready to pick up. Your car's license plate is recognized. An employee puts your order in the trunk and you can just drive out. Seamless and contactless. We took the same experience to rentals. Let's take the example of tools that we usually rent for DIYs. With Fin, we enabled these smart lockers outside the rental shops so that a customer can pick up tools anytime, use them, and bring them back when they're done with them. You don't have to enter the shop or interact with anybody. But it's not just Corona-proof. Now you can pick up and bring back your tools 24/7, and you only pay for the duration you use them. How cool is that? Let's talk about another industry that's badly hit with COVID-19, catering. I think we all love to go out, and especially when the weather is nice. But obviously, because of Corona, we all cannot do it. We have to keep the safe distance. We have to make sure that we are controlling it. That's why Meet Order Now, Fin's answer to make restaurant visits COVID-19 proof. It's simple. Walk in, enjoy a meal, and walk out. Without interaction, but keeping the personal touch. Bar and restaurant experience suffers badly from COVID-19 crisis. We realized it and created Order Now on top of our existing Fin platform in under 10 days. Customers order and pay directly at the table by tapping their phone against the NFC sticker. No need to wait for ordering or for the bill afterwards. And no need to split costs as everyone pays for themselves. Quick, safe, and seamless. Again, a short video explaining Fin Order Now. I'm going to take out my AirPods now and play.
Technology is improving everyday routines, but how to improve a restaurant experience with the latest technology? We at Fin are always looking for ways to use our technology to improve everyday life for our customers. Meet Order Now, Fin's answer to make restaurant visits COVID-19 proof. This is how it works. Once you're seated at your table at your favourite restaurant, you can just tap your phone against the NFC sticker or scan the QR code to access the menu. No need to download any app. You can order right from your phone. The very first order you pay right away. Additional orders will be settled by Fin automatically. It's simple. Walk in, enjoy a meal and walk out without interaction, but keeping the personal touch. Giving customers easy access to self-ordering and automatic payments will improve efficiency and enhances the overall experience for both customers and restaurant owners. Are you ready to make your business COVID-19 proof and want to know how Fin can help you do that? Then get in touch.
Okay, so that was Fin Order Now. We are very excited about it and hope some of you can actually use it out in the wild soon. We are working very hard with it. It is rightly said that necessity is the mother of invention. Maybe in these uncertain times of a pandemic, it's time to think about things differently and see how we all collectively can make sure that the world post-corona will be better than the world pre-corona. I think we as a society owe it to ourselves. That's it from me today. Thank you everyone for your time.
Thank you very much, Nandini. Super inspiring how you adapt your service to a changing environment like Corona now. Thanks for sharing your story. So if you have a question, please write them in the comment box. For now, we don't have any questions yet, Nandini.
Okay. But if anyone has any questions, you can also reach out to me via LinkedIn. I'm also there on Twitter, I think. I haven't used it for a while, but I think I'm there. Or just reach out to me via the ING email if you're an ING colleague. But I would love to hear from you guys.
Great. Thank you very much, Nandini. Maybe there's another question coming in, but for now, I would like to thank you, Nandini, for your talk. Wait.
There's a question.
We have one question. Any stuff in alpha beta phase that you can tell us about?
So there's a lot of stuff we constantly have things in beta, to be honest. We're always trying out with new stuff, but Order Now, for example, is currently in beta that we're testing out in 1 or 2 locations. And I hope it would be available soon for everyone to use, because especially given the new regulations we've had from the government this week, I think Order Now would really help industries, Horeca, to make sure that they can still continue to do the business while also making sure it doesn't increase the pandemic. So, but if you want to know more about the alpha and beta stuff, Bart, you can join our Slack community, and there you get all the information.
Okay, great. There are a lot of compliments coming in, Nandini. So I think you did really well.
Oh, thank you. It was a lot of fun, I have to say. My first ever virtual webinar. At some point, you also think of yourself a bit crazy because you feel like, why am I sitting by myself in this study and talking to myself? But I get you. I guess you have to get used to it.
You get used to it for sure. After 4 days, we know about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for your attention, everyone. We have a short break. We will be back at 12:30 with our second talk. It's Noah and Natasha, and they will tell you something about how to balance and harmonize your work-life balance. So I hope you guys will be back soon. And for now, thank you, Nandini. Your talk is recorded, so if you would like to watch it back or share it with someone you know who might also be interested, please have a look at our YouTube channel. See you later.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back. And for the ones who just joined us, great to have you here. Welcome to our first online edition of Women Engineering. Oh,
Women in Engineering Days.
Lieke, something's going wrong here.
Okay.
I hear myself twice.
Okay, I will just continue with the introduction.
Yeah.
Some practical information for the ones who just joined. The talk is 45 minutes, including a Q&A at the end. And if you have any questions, please ask them in the comment box on the right side, and Noah and Natasha will answer your questions after their talk. And be aware that there's a 20-second delay between the live streaming and YouTube. And then now we are ready to introduce our second talk. It's the challenge of maintaining your work-life harmony by Noah Shafiq and Natasha Altenberg. And a little introduction about them. They're both power moms. Noah has 3 kids. She has twins and a daughter. And Natasha has a 10-year-old and is also an active member of our women network at ING, Lioness. So we're really excited to have you both here, and we would like to give the screen to you. Good luck.
Yeah, we're in. Good afternoon, everyone. Hi. Thank you for joining us today. So as Lieke shared, we are Natasha and Noah, and today we will take you through our journey to find the right balance between the things you love. We will share some of our personal stories, and we will give you some tips and guidelines that can help you find your work-life harmony. We have some questions in between to keep it interactive, but as Lieke already shared, in the end, we will also have time to answer your questions. So we would like to start off with a funny fact. I don't know about you guys, but my toilet breaks have been a lot less since I started working from home. Because almost always I was getting urgent calls when I was in the bathroom. And even during long meetings, I often need to go to the bathroom, but I don't do it that much. But I just kept in mind that it's okay. That even when I was physically in the office, we missed calls as well. And also during meetings at the office, we excused ourselves to go to the bathroom. A remote call should not make us change our normal break behavior, right? So that was a funny tip to start off with. Just keep going to the bathroom. So to share shortly a bit about myself, I live in Almere. I'm a single mom with an amazing 10-year-old daughter, and recently also in a wonderful relationship again. I was born in Groningen, Netherlands, but I was raised in Suriname. Wonderful time over there. I returned to the Netherlands 25 years ago to study. I studied computer science in Amsterdam. And it was also during that time that I joined ING, almost 20 years ago. So November 1st will be 20 years at ING. And I started as a software developer. My purpose in life is to be self-giving without being selfless. I have a strong connection with people. I get energy out of people. And for me, giving to myself is just as important as giving to others. I value giving myself to others not only to connect, but to also acknowledge what connects us. This is also one of the reasons I became an IT chapter lead at ING. And it's also one of the reasons I became a member of Lioness, our ING Women's Network.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Noha Shafi. I'm originally from Egypt. I live in the Netherlands now for 4 years, almost, together with my husband and our 3 beautiful kids. I work in ING as IT chapter lead in cards department. And my main role is to be a team coach beside being their manager. In my career, I always supported diversity and inclusion, especially for women in IT, because I believe that with a diverse team, you get more and more creative results. My background is in computer science, and I have started my career in 2005 as a software engineer. And since then, I was in a journey to find my passion and find my purpose. And I found that helping and coaching people give me a lot of satisfaction and self-fulfillment. And this is actually what I'm doing right now with my current role. I would like also to share my purpose with you, which is to be the compass which guides you through today, tomorrow, and beyond. The most challenging thing for me in the beginning of my career was how to maintain a healthy work-life balance. It took me a while to find an answer to this question. Also, this is one of the main reasons why I have moved to the Netherlands, as Netherlands is one of the best countries when it comes to work-life balance. Before we start our talk, we would like to take you to some definitions. The definition of word balance. It's an equal distribution of weight or amount. We have bought into the idea that having fulfillment in our personal and professional lives means we have to give them equal weight and priority all the time. Also, another definition for balance, a point between two opposite forces, which also makes us unconsciously look at the personal life and work as opposites. On the other hand, the definition of harmony, a consistent, orderly, or pleasing arrangements of parts, congruity. That means that things doesn't have to be opposites or the same size or weight, but the most important thing, that they can work together in a flexible and homogeneous way. So now we need to shift our mindset and not to look at work and life as opposites, but we need to let them work together in harmony. So instead of seeking work-life balance, we would like to seek for work-life harmony. And now, based on these definitions, we have a question for you. So please write down your choice in the chat box. Do you believe that you have a work-life harmony? Please write 1 for yes and 2 for no. We'll give you a minute for this. Yeah, we can see now the answers are coming. Yes.
Balance, yes. Harmony, no. Good remark from Bart.
One and 2 from Maha. Nice. Yep.
Good to see.
Yeah, that's really nice. So you are not alone. We all had this journey. Achieving work-life harmony is not easy, and it's a very personal experience. It's like a journey full of trials, and you can't anticipate what will work for you until you try, and then decide what really suits you. It's not like a list you have to follow, and if you miss one point, then it doesn't work, or you don't have a work-life harmony. But there are some tips and guidelines you can take from other people experiences which can help you and make it easier for you to choose. So let's start with our tips. Regardless whether you work from home or the office, there are 4 important pillars that helps us to find our work-life harmony. Be mindful, find your purpose, delegate more, protect yourself. And now we are going to take you through these pillars while sharing our stories. After that, we are going to give you some practical working from home tips. To explain our first pillar, I'm going to take you back to 2001, when I have started my bachelor study. I was expecting a typical student life with all the fun and cool things. But at that time, unfortunately, my father was diagnosed with cancer, and he had to be in the hospital for years. My mother was a very successful working lady, and my brother and sister, they were just starting their careers, and our lives were just going totally fine. So this was a big change for us. I will never forget how my mom, who is my hero by the way, managed this situation. She showed me how work-life harmony could be in a very difficult time. I remember that she told me, this is going to be a hard time, but we can make the best of it. This moment will never come back again. And being together as a family and spending time with your dad cannot be compensated with any other thing. But going out and having fun with friends can always happen. She created a daily routine for us, for all of us, to spend most of our time in the hospital with our dad. She made like shifts, and I had the afternoon shift because my college was just in front of the hospital, and I could manage to have lunch with him every day, almost. She also told us, once you are with your dad, just be with him. Don't think about anything else. And after years and years, I found that my mom was the first one who taught me how to be mindful. I can remember how happy he was when I was studying beside his bed, and one time he wanted to turn in the bed, and he told me, can you please come to the other side because I want to see you as much as I can. You want a lot of things and you don't know what to choose. I will give you a tip. Just pick what really matters to you at this moment. It's a trade-off, but personally for me, family always win. We chose to be with our dad and to be into the moment and enjoy our choice. And I will tell you something, we never regret this choice. When my dad passed away, he left me even much more stronger and with a lot of fruitful memories and with no regret. Your time is so precious, so please spend it with what really matters to you. As Thomas Edison said, time is really the only capital that any human being has, and the only thing he can't afford to lose. I believe you had the same or similar experience as I had, and you know exactly what I'm talking about.
So after hearing Noah's personal story about mindfulness, we would also like to ask you to answer the question for us. How mindful are you in work and life? Are you very mindful, a lot of distractions and can't be mindful at all? Or what is mindfulness? So if you can please put in your answers again in the comment box, 1, 2, or 3. See 2's popping up. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. You recognize a lot of distractions.
Yeah, of course.
Sometimes mindful, but mostly a lot of distractions. So too, Mariana, yes. Yeah, I guess some moments you can be more mindful than others because distractions differ, that's for sure. So yeah, the literal translation of mindfulness is the practice of purposely bringing your attention to experience occurring in the present moment without judgment, a skill you develop through meditation or other training. If you have time, please try to read a bit more about mindfulness and try to practice it. Especially mindful listening can be really difficult at first, but it's a skill that you can master over time. It really helps us to be more at peace and feel happy. So you will also learn how to have compassion for other people as well, and not only empathy, which allows you to handle different situations differently. And if you have questions about it, you can always ask us after the presentation. We're available on LinkedIn for questions to see how we can help you to reach the mindfulness goal. So now I would like to take you to the next pillar. Find your purpose. Find the image that suits you. So how did my journey in finding my purpose look like? A few years ago, I had to make one of the most painful decisions of my life. My husband and I decided to get divorced. At that moment, my picture that is showing who I am and what I like and what my purpose in life is was kind of fading away during the years of my marriage. And because I did not acknowledge it at that moment, my picture was almost completely gone. And we came to the decision that the only way for me to recreate my picture and to give my husband the chance to recreate his was to let go of each other, as this allowed me to take a step back and think who I truly was and where my passion lies. It took me a while, but currently I'm living my image. And of course, images may slightly change over time. But for me, I learned to make sure that it always suits me and my purpose in life. Finding my image also helped me to enjoy life to the fullest. And with this feeling, I'm making sure I always give my best to others at work and in my personal life. And the message I want to give is, for, of course, not that you should get a divorce, but it helped me to find myself and what's important to me. So this was my journey needed to find myself again. So regardless of the situation you're in, try to find your image that suits you and your purpose, as it really helped me to rediscover what's important to me and, more important, how to hold on to it. In almost everything I do, I reflect it to my image and my life purpose, as I know that's the person I want to be for myself and for others as well. And I think a year and a half ago, my daughter asked me once why my husband and I were not getting back together again, as the parents of almost all of her friends at school were also together. I told her that we really tried and that I could not change that anymore. But at the same time, I also asked her if she was happy and if she felt loved. And her answer was yes. So I asked her, why would you like to change that? I told her that our image is different than the image of someone else, and that's okay, as long as we have the image that suits us and contributes to our happiness. So now, when my image changes a bit because I found something or something else that I love, I keep making sure that the image still contributes to my purpose, as this helps me to prioritize and do the right things, and not only at work, but also in my personal life. So now that I took you on my journey in finding my purpose, we would like to know from you, did you find your purpose? Is your purpose aligned with your work? Again, if you could comment in the comment box. So 1, I found my purpose and it's aligned with my work. 2, I found my purpose, but it's not aligned with my work at all. 3, no, I didn't find it. Or 4, no, but I don't need it. Still thinking about it.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're right,
good.
Bart. Yeah, purpose can change in the future. Oh,
Oh,
nice.
nice.
Oh, Monique, nice. As long as you're happy during those confused moments as well. Ah, nice, Amanda. And yeah, and of course, we hope that no one is living their life and doing work not aligned in line with his or her purpose. And if so, maybe please take the time to reflect and think about it. And there are a lot of ways. I found my way as well, and workshops which can help you to find your purpose. But even if you don't have or want a purpose, it really helps to reflect, just to make sure that what you are doing is also what you would like to do.
And now I will tell you how I have experienced the third pillar, delegation. After having my babies, I had a big challenge to maintain the work-life harmony. I had many things to do. Taking care of my kids, having quality time with my husband, doing the house chores, having good time with my family and friends, doing my work, self-development and going forward with my career, taking care of my health. I was stuck at that time and couldn't find the right balance as I wanted to do everything by myself and couldn't imagine that anybody can help me. And then I have found that delegation is the key, either at work or at home. I remember my manager telling me that a good leader knows how to delegate. And if you want to grow in a more senior role, you have to trust people, coach them, support them from a distance. Also accept that people can make mistakes because the more mistakes they do, the more they learn. It's a win-win situation. People will learn and grow more, and at the same time, you will have more time to work on your development. Also, in my personal life, I have started to ask for help from other people around me, either family or friends, or even people who can help at home. I learned how to delegate, and I can tell you that delegation is the key for my journey. And now we have another question for you. How often do you delegate? Daily? Sometimes never.
I know I need to delegate a bit more. But I'm also seeing people around me doing the delegation.
Yeah, it's really important.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice purpose, Sandra.
Yeah, really nice.
Nice. And good luck, Nikki, for live up to it. Yeah. Okay.
The Minka Daily, nice.
Nice.
Good job. I'm coming over to you to learn about it.
Sometimes. There is number 4. Should do it more often.
Oh yeah, yeah. Good one.
Yeah. Very hard for me. Like to do everything by myself. What I have to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I recognize that. I
Yeah.
recognize that. Because no one can do it better than you, right? So trust is the key there. Trust that other people can do it as well.
Mhm.
At work is easier than at home. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Delegation is difficult, especially in the beginning. But after a while, you find that you don't only help yourself, but also help others in different ways, either to grow at work or to support them financially if, for example, you hire someone to help you at home. Also, as a leader, it's very important skill, which you should master. So please try to delegate and just start with it.
So now I will take you to our fourth and last important pillar. So protect yourself. Try to surround yourself with good people and find yourself a soulmate in everything or almost everything you do in life. So good people that give good energy are not only important when working from home, they are like always important. Surrounding yourself with positive people throughout your life will provide you exactly that, the positive energy. And they also stimulate us to give our best at work and life, but they're also the ones that make sure that we stay true to ourselves. So Noah and I have such a great connection. We love doing things together. We stimulate each other to do the best we can, but at the same time, we make sure that what we do makes us happy and or even better, happier. Together, we feel like we can almost handle everything. I was, for example, very nervous about doing this presentation, but with Noah by my side and supporting me, I feel much more confident.
Yeah, for me as well, the same.
And another fact which really helped us while working from home is trying to keep as much as possible the daily routines. And of course, we're not going to take this picture literally. You can try, of course. But for us, keeping the daily rituals gives us structure. It also encourages us to come up with new rituals, for example, that fit the situation we're currently in. Because we don't have, for example, the breaks in between when walking to a meeting. So sometimes we take a break and have a walk outside as if we're going to a meeting just to keep moving. But also getting up in the morning, taking a shower, getting dressed, and putting on a bit of makeup helps us to disconnect from home and going to the office. And of course, everyone has their own rituals to go through the day, but getting that disconnection between home and office, even when you're just at home, is for us really helpful. And of course, now with the current situation the whole world is facing, we would like to share with you some of our tips for working from home. So, of course, we had our 4 pillars through our personal stories. So, don't forget to find your purpose, or at least make sure that what you are doing is in line with what you would like to do. Also, be mindful and into the moment. Surround yourself with good people. And of course, don't forget to delegate more. Also, try to be mentally and physically fit. Try to exercise. I do some home workouts still via YouTube. Eat healthy, also in combination with sometimes taking good care of yourself. Go for a massage, meditate, try to watch a movie. Also, don't forget to be authentic. And the best way to do this is to show your vulnerabilities and weaknesses. We all have them, so don't be afraid to be transparent about them. You don't have to act by the book. And the last one, I of course need to say a bit more, I think. So try to say no more often and manage your boundaries by making choices. And also enjoy those choices because they're yours. Teach people how to treat you. Set boundaries for yourself, not only at work, but also at home. For example, if you start work at 4, then try at 8, then try to finish at 4 as well. And another example about boundaries is a tip from our manager. He put up signs for his kids at the door. Green meaning you can enter, red meaning don't enter at all, or orange only if it's really important. So you can set boundaries on different levels.
Also, have a morning routine. Wake up early, make your bed, meditate or pray, walk outside, have your coffee in your garden or balcony, have a cold shower if you can. Try journaling, it really works for me. I really write everything in the morning just to take everything from my head. Write down your blessings and look at them. It will remind you how blessed you are. Set goals and priorities for the day, and then get dressed as you are going to the office and just start your working day. Also, it's really important to create your own environmental cue. For example, the dining table is an environmental cue which reminds you of eating. The bed is an environmental cue which reminds you that you want to sleep. So try also to make one place as your working place and make it, this is your environmental cue which reminds you to work. And also you can use something to trigger you that you will start working. So for example, You have a lamp on the desk, you turn it on when you start, or to turn on a song, or to read one page from a book. Just something to trigger your brain that you are going to start working. And then protect your mornings. As you are more productive in the morning, start with work that needs your attention or meetings that needs your input. And just try to avoid the meetings that you are just a listener in it. Also, don't start your day with social media. It really can ruin your day. I have personally stopped social media for 2 months now. I'm so proud of this. And it's really made a big difference in my life. This time I'm using now for more productive and fun stuff. It's full of negativity, really.
I stopped one, Facebook.
Yeah, that's really great. Yeah, it's too much. And if there's important news, you are going to know it from the news websites. You don't have to see it from on Facebook. Take regular vacations. Take a break. Make time for a break during your day. So, for example, I have a break every 30 minutes or 45 minutes. Just walk around in the house, have a cup of coffee, couple of minutes, and then go back to work. Also, there's a very nice tip we got from a colleague of us. She in Outlook, you can make like the meetings 25 or 50 minutes. So then you will avoid the back-to-back meetings and you will have more time to switch, like 5 minutes or 10 minutes.
And also some more tips are, for example, block your calendar. What helps is to block your lunchtime, for example, and private appointments like picking up the kids, preparing dinner. Just make sure that colleagues know when you're available or not, and take that time, personal time as well. Plan your year, and of course, this year it's a strange year, and maybe next year as well. But try to plan and with something you love. And holidays, even in what format you can do that. Friends and family celebrations, although it's much more restricted. Try to meet people as well with the restrictions we have now. Rediscover your talents. Also use this situation to rediscover your talents. Read books which you didn't have time for. Open your closed drawers and look at old pictures, for example. Try to rediscover yourself and what you really love. Learn a new language. I started doing Spanish again, for example, or another new skill. Just try to use the time you used to spend on commuting to learn nice new things again. What's also important for us is try to keep the silly part of you. Do crazy things, just be yourself. You really need this. And at the office, we always used to have great laughs. We were always the loudest, but also now during meetings, we still try to have those moments because it's part of me and I don't want to ignore that. So it's still there, even in the situation you're in. And our last tip is try not to use your work laptop for study or entertainment, as it will remind you of your work and you will not be able to switch, especially when the email notifications start popping up or the Teams notifications. So there's also an option to make 2 users on your laptop, for example, and then you can log off your work account.
The bad news is time flies. The good news, you are the pilot. We have shared with you our tips based on our experiences to maintain a healthy work-life harmony. So please start from tomorrow with 1 or 2 tips, and we will assure you that you will see the difference. You can contact us on LinkedIn after the session if you want. And now it's time for your questions. Thank you.
Wow, both of you, thank you so much, Natasha and Noah. So many amazing tips and stories.
Thanks.
I really genuinely loved it. I learned to delegate more often.
Nice.
And I think it's about giving trust and letting go, I believe. It's sometimes very hard for me. Yeah. And there's also, your story reminded me of a quote of Rumi, an old poet from Persia. He said, "Set your life on fire and seek those who fan your flames." It's on my bio on Instagram. It's really so important. And I think being with people who really care about you is really very important. And the older I get, the more, the better I get to know myself, and very, very curious. How do you say? Very.
You know better now with what people you would like to be surrounded with. Yeah,
exactly. I know better who to let enter to my inner circle, so to say.
Yeah. I agree.
So,
it's a journey. I've been there as well. I feel you.
Yeah, exactly. It's I think I didn't know that before when I was under the age of 30, but now it's different.
It's different.
And and maybe I can add also one tip to the tips that you gave.
Yes, please.
And it started during this COVID period. After having dinner with my family, we each of us mentioned 3 things that we are grateful for at the end. And I can really recommend it to do that also with small kids, because you can hear like very simple things that they are grateful for. Like my son said, I'm grateful for the wind blowing through my hair.
Nice.
I almost cried. So thank you very much again. I really enjoyed it.
I really started to write my blessings, because sometimes you just see the dark side. So when you just write it, you find a lot of blessings. So every day I write like in the morning 2 or 3 blessings and look at them. And now I have like a lot of pages, and it's really simple. Like I had a good sleep, or I have a coffee machine at home, or my friend invited me for dinner. These kind of things. It's really a blessing.
Yeah. Oh, good one. I should write them down as well. Okay, thank you. Thanks again, Natasha and Noah, both of you. Thank you for joining us today, and special thanks again for all the speakers of the last 3 days and today. This was the last day of our Women in Engineering Journey event of 2020. You can watch all the recordings back of the last days and of today on our YouTube channel. And I can share the link with you later on. Hopefully you enjoyed as much as we did, and we hope to see you back next year. Here is to strong women. May we know them, may we be them, and may we raise them. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.